with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. Great to have a packed house. Roll call.
Mayor Mays?
Here.
Council President Grant?
Here.
Councilor Henderson?
She's sort of here.
Councilor Folsom? Councilor Butterfield?
Here.
Councilor Langer?
Here.
Councilor Clark?
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. We have 3 items on our consent agenda tonight.
Consent agenda.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of approving as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're going to move straight to presentations. Come back to citizen comment. Because we've got a room full of guests that we want to recognize. Just the other day, earlier this month, last month, Sherwood High School varsity football team was successful in winning the state title, 5A, in a smackdown whipping of Marist. And it means extra for me. I love Sherwood, but my sister is an alum of Marist, so it made me be able to give her a call, and that was nice. The second state title in 3 years, undefeated season, 13-0. Last 3 years, 39-1 record, very impressive. Last 5 years or 6 years, 60-4 or 60-5, an unbelievable record. So we got a room full of the players that were able to make it. Not everyone is here because they're playing basketball or wrestling or other commitments. So it's great to have the ones that are here. I'm gonna call Coach Law up in a second, and then introduce coaches that are here and not here, and then call up players so we can all recognize you. For the folks that are here, but folks that are also watching at home, because believe it or not, I know you wouldn't, I don't either, but folks watch these council meetings at home on cable access TV, and it's great to be able to have them recognize you as well. So without further ado, and since we're at some of the mics, maybe I'll let counselors say a few things first, but certainly very proud of all of our young men and women in our community, and some of my favorite times for council is to recognize our youth when they succeed on the playing field, in the classroom, or in the theater, or on a stage. And this group of men won the state title, but they're also very good students, and they take all that very seriously. And Coach Law, well, you're not retiring, hopefully for a few more years, but I know your impact in our community is tremendous, and we're all very appreciative and grateful for your tenure as our head football coach, and in my opinion, very deserving to get in the State Hall of Fame as a coach when that time comes in a number of years down the road. Other counselors' comments before we lose the mic? Bill can't help himself. I want to give him Bill.
Of course, I can't help myself. I feel like I'm part of you still, even though you guys, most of you don't know who I am. Maybe my face. Yeah, well, there you go. I'm the fog guy. So, congratulations, guy. I'm really proud of you.
Council President?
Thank you. I agree with everything you just said. And some of you guys might know that my stepson was in the program for a while, Journey Bailey, and he. So I got a peek into the program that goes on, and it should be said that so much is done to not only teach the young men how to play football, but also to help them succeed in life, all throughout life. And every guy standing back there knows what I'm talking about. And I was just very impressed at the peek I had into that world. And you'd just be really surprised at all the things that are done and all the ways that these kids are coached, not just in football, but also in life. And so It's just a great program in so many ways. I just wanted that to be said. So, Coach, you're just doing a great job.
Any other comments before we? Yeah.
I've got to speak. I'm the only alumni up here, class of 1990. When I was at school, Greg Lawrence was our JV coach. I never played football because they always conflicted with hunting season and whatnot. They didn't like it if I was gone for 2 or 3 weeks during season. You guys can understand that. But I remember back when I was at school, we'd be lucky if we scored as many points in the season as you guys were putting up on average in each game. So it's amazing to see you do it in style. I love going to the games, especially in watching and counting. I was always counting penalties. How clean of football were we playing? And wow, was it impressive this year to watch how clean you guys were winning. You'd smoke them, and you'd only have 1 or 2 penalties, or maybe none, and that's very respectable. And Coach, it's unbelievable how you've brought this program in this town around since I was at school and watching you with Hackworth. So big congratulations. That's really neat.
All right, so we're going to go around, call some folks forward one at a time, and then let Coach say a few words about the team.
Yeah.
Hang on, got a mic you up.
Oh. Believe me, you can hear me.
So just look at your mouth.
Oh,
Okay, hold on to that. Look at your pocket.
Well, first of all, I want to thank the the council members and Mayor Mays and everybody else here just for inviting us tonight to be able to recognize these great young men, because really my job's easy and our coaches' jobs are real easy because these are great guys. And, it's too bad we couldn't have them all here, but, they do have other commitments. But I can say that this was one of the better seasons where, it was a perfect season. And these guys did it the right way. And I really think that they represented our community very well. And, we talk about the part of the hard work that they put in to do the things they do on the field, but they also go one step further. What they do in the classroom is really big, and the time commitment they make for football, and then get home late and still do their studies. Our football team was number 3 in the state for top GPA of all the football teams in the state of Oregon, and that's a huge thing for these guys to do that, to do those great things in the classroom, and to also then transfer it right over to the football field. Says a lot about these young men, and I'm very proud of them. So thanks, guys. Good job. If I could, I'll just start out. I'm not going to name all the kids, but I'm going to have them come up kind of in a group. Our senior group, if you guys can come up here just real quick, just the seniors. What I'll just say about the seniors is, we always say the team's the seniors' team, and that they have to be great leaders on the field, in the classroom, in the locker room, and guiding the other younger players to do the right thing and to do it the right way. And I'll tell you what, these guys were tremendous leaders. They were awesome leaders. They weren't selfish. It was all about the team. It was never about I. And I think that's one of the things that we have that here at Sherwood is these guys all care about each other, and they make commitments for each other, and they sacrifice for each other. And they know if they do that, the ultimate goal is that blue trophy at the end of the season. And so this is the senior group, and definitely going to miss them. And they've been great kids and great young men. And I just want to thank the seniors, too, for such a great season and being great leaders for these guys.
So we're kind of playing kind of off the cuff. You want to? We have individual certificates for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start.
There's a lot of them. If you want to read them off, you're going to read off 60 names, and we got about 20, but
That's all right.
that's okay. And then just last thing, can I have just the rest of the guys come up here, the juniors and sophomores? These guys are kind of like what we call during the year the supporting cast, and they're the supporters for the seniors. And we had some great young men that did some good things on the field too, and in the classroom, and the same thing. And hopefully they've learned a lot from the senior group, and they're going to be able to carry it on. And next year we're going to be able to do the same thing and do good things for our community. So we'll turn it over to you to announce the names. You guys, when your name's announced, just go through and shake all the counselors' hands and get your certificate, and we'll be good.
Perfect. And you just hang out up here.
Yep.
And Joe will, Senior Joe Gall will call up names. I'm not sure what the order they're in, so
They're in no particular order. And as
read the certificate.
Yep, the certificate basically says to each of the players and students, on behalf of the City of Sherwood and the Sherwood City Council, we congratulate you on your state victory, 2012 OSAA 5A State Football Championship. I'm going to do the best I can with your names. If I torture them, I apologize ahead of time. So, Emil Erickson. Tristan Flint.
We know only 1 out of 3 are here today.
Ben Vanderzanden. Brian Lee. Vernon Johnson. Anthony Sherwood. Now I have a name and a face. I heard his name a lot this season. So, Cole Nixon. Mason Rivers. Okay, I'm probably going to get this wrong. Jordan Scobo? Scobo. Cyrus Mooney. Joseph Balfour. Adley Rushman. Rutschman. Tyler Booth. Ryan Pino or Pino? Pino. Jordan Hodney. Kevin Larkin. Nick Clark. Spencer Clay. Keegan Lawrence. Logan Ballarch. Ballarche.
Coach Lawrence, can you do something about the temperature of the state championship football game too?
Yeah, I wish I could, believe me. We're a little wet and cold, yeah.
Here's another name, Christian Morris, that we heard a lot this year. Got the wrong sweatshirt, but that's all right. Mickey Schaefer. Scott Skurdal. Scott. James Musser. Nick Cameron. Nick Dixon. Jack Matney. Zach Taylor. Harley Peters. Alex Barzy. Jordan Kurahara. AJ Smith. Austin Goldstein. Jacob Brooks. Tanner Shadbolt. Jake Reimer.
Congratulations.
Joseph Chamberlain. Nick Rowlands. Bray Reese or Rice? Not here, thank you. Justin Meyer. Harrison Shelburne. Hank Tremaine. Travis Katowski. CJ Alley. Andrew Rice. Jacob Brookhouse. Brendan Rudrow. David Haimoto. Cam Thyman? David Villapande Perez. Joe Brookhouse. Ryan Jurgens. Nick Aspen. Martin Lena. Okay, I don't know if this person's here, but I have to share this. I have an 8-year-old son who I've only lived here 6 months and is all about the Bowman already, I'll tell you. But he knows this. This is the guy, I think he played defense. Saul Uzua? Exactly. The man. Awesome. Jeremy Sather. Logan Smith. Michael Alley. Michael Stocker. Austin Scoggin. And Matthew Brooks.
And then we have our manager, Daniel Kim. He probably wasn't on the roster as you guys do, but Daniel Kim is our team manager. No, they got kids and they're doing their thing around. So.
Are the big booster clubbers that help you a lot?
Tammy, she's number one mom. She hasn't done the program yet. She still hangs with me. So.
Love it, Tammy.
Well, we will get the certificates to the kids, to the players that weren't able to be here tonight, and we've got a stack of these for the coaches, including Coach Law. Are you sort of ready?
I'm sort of ready. We have a special award.
So first, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'd ask counselors to scoot over. Tremendous year, and I'll put Coach Law up against any coach in the state, any coach in the nation for how he runs a program, how he mentors young men in our community, and the occasional young woman. And we just got one kind of question.
What were you thinking?
We need to have you work on something. I think I think people who were there certainly saw it. Some folks at home watched the game on TV or watched ESPN Sports Center. Even saw this, but maybe not everybody in town who's watching this. So let's play a little clip. Here you go.
Excitement, adrenaline kicked in, and emotions were everywhere, so it was a great time. Do you have to apologize to your coach after hitting him that hard? Yeah, I'll get him later.
So
it was a lot of fun. I'm so proud of him and proud of this team and this community, and so happy for everyone.
So, in recognition of you're not perfect, you still need to work on one skill. I mean, that was your son, and if he's weighs 150 pounds soaking wet, might be stretching it.
Yeah.
So, so we got a little something for him. Touchdown celebration 101 class. A certificate is hereby awarded to Greg Lawrence, Sherwood High School, in recognition of his need for additional training in touchdown activities, especially chest bumps with players.
Been a great year. Been a great year. Really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Oh, that was hilarious. I haven't seen that. Very funny. That's hilarious. ESPN.
You bet. That is very funny.
Their son is, and his son's from
Is that who that was your wave there?
Yeah, her mom is a player. I haven't seen him in a couple of years.
Have your kid now.
Clever. They were together.
Oh.
So that was great. I mean, as the video showed, the
Time
little Lawrence got knocked down by his teammates when he scored, and then he went over and knocked his coach dad down. So, thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, Joe, for putting that all together. It wasn't it's a lot of work, but it's always great to recognize young men and women in our community. Citizen comments. Anyone like to address council on any item not on the agenda this evening? Move on to new business. Resolution 2012-057, authorizing the city manager to execute a license to allow adjacent homeowner to construct and maintain a fence on city property. Bob?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Is it on? Okay. Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. This is Craig Christensen. He's a engineering associate too. He's been with the city here for about a year, and this is his first time making presentation to the council, but this is his project, and he's been working on it, so I'm going to turn it over to him.
Great.
Hello.
Welcome.
I'm here to present Resolution 2012-057 to authorize the city manager to execute a license to allow the homeowner to install and maintain a fence on city property. And some of the background to this stems from another project that we have just previously finished constructing, and this was to work on some open space property that is located west of Lad Hill Road and north of Southwest Willow Drive. And as part of that open space work, we constructed a permanent access road to access a water quality facilities, and this would allow for future maintenance and access of that facilities. And that road is a gravel constructed road, and once that got cleared for, the homeowner that this road is adjoining to noticed a lot of pedestrian activity using the new cleared out roadway. And so his desire is to put up a fence to block off the visual sight from any people that would be using this new cleared out area to basically kind of use the open space as a pathway for walking. And so he is requesting to get the Gesundheit.
Thank you.
So he is requesting to construct a fence on city property and to therefore cut off the visual, to obscure the visual of any people that might be walking nearby.
Okay. Questions for Bob or Craig? Joe, you support the resolution?
Yes, I do.
Other questions? Discussion? Motion?
I will move we approve Resolution 2012-057.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion? All in favor of approving Resolution 2012-057, authorizing the city manager to execute a license to allow adjacent homeowner to construct and maintain a fence on city property, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, council. Thanks, Craig. Thanks, Bob. Next is Resolution 2012-058, directing staff to begin the process of determining and recommending an alignment for Cedar Brook Way. Julia?
It's me. I'm over here. I know you're not used to me sitting up here. This resolution is really a follow-up to the plan amendment, the TSP amendment that the council adopted back in October to change the functional classification of Cedar Brook Way from a local to a collector street. If you recall at the hearing, there was support but continued expression of concern from some property owners in the area. Where will it go? How will it look? How will it be funded? And so this just moves that discussion a little bit further along, directing staff to begin that process of evaluating that in a little bit more detail. I imagine that we would come back to council at a later date to discuss it further, but this directs staff to begin moving that forward.
Great. Thanks, Julia. Questions for Julia? Discussion from council? Motion from council?
I'll move we adopt Resolution 2012-058.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion? We're a talkative bunch after all those kids, which is great. All in favor of approving Resolution 2012-058, directing staff to begin the process of determining and recommending an alignment for Cedar Brook Way, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, council. Thank you, Julia. Item C, Resolution 2012-060, authorizing the city manager to negotiate with the Sherwood School District to install lights on fields at the Ridges campus and Sherwood Middle School. Kristen.
Hello.
Hello.
Over here. So the resolution is pretty much what the title says, but this just authorizes the city manager to begin the conversations with the school district to install lights at fields at the Ridges campus and also at Sherwood Middle School. This topic did go before the Parks Board earlier this month, and they're in favor of the project and voted that we move forward and ask the city manager to begin those conversations.
Questions for Kristen or comment from Bill?
Yeah, I'd like to recuse myself from this resolution.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yep.
Does this impact their list of priorities according to the Parks Master Plan, was there any concern or conversation about how this might impact the priorities, like finishing Woodhaven Park?
This is on their list of priorities, so it does impact it in a way that it would be checking something off the list. It wasn't at the very top, but the project that we have at the very top, which is Woodhaven and Cedar Creek Trail, are much more expensive projects. So the impression that I got is that they feel good about accomplishing something, and everyone was very much in favor of the project.
So they feel good about going ahead and spending the money that they do have now in hopes that more money can come later to finish the more expensive projects. I think for the community, we need to understand that there haven't been a lot of park system development charges come into the coffers.
Right. Yes.
And the Parks Board has been working hard to try to get to the point where they could do something like this.
Yes.
So I appreciate their efforts and their hard work and their tenacity in keeping moving projects forward when they've had a pretty tight, lean budget.
Great.
I have a couple questions. I don't remember exactly when we talked about this at work session, but did we have a budget amount that we were trying to stay around for both of those projects?
For the two potential fields to be lit, the 400,000 is what the number was that Park and Rec in their motion, and that's the number we've.
As in not to exceed?
Not to exceed.
Okay. So what we're trying to do is do both projects for 400
hopefully
or less.
less than that.
Yeah, less, obviously. Okay. Thank you. That's it.
Great. Any other questions or discussion or a motion?
One more question.
Yeah.
So you're going to go talk to the school district, and are we going to see this again, come back to us, or not?
We will
You
when
may
you're
see
in a
it. Well, obviously, you'll be in the loop in terms of how the project's going.
Right.
In terms of the process, we made that commitment to the park board as well. You may see a contract down the road once we get to that point. So I have a meeting tomorrow with the superintendent, and this is on our list, assuming you gave me the green light to go start talking with them about this project.
So we're trying to combine efforts. They're going to be working on the field as
yes, they
well.
are working on some
Yeah.
drainage issues at the
Yeah.
Ridges campus.
That's the part I don't think that maybe members of
And
the
I
audience
think
or people at home might not
as
know
the
about.
school district addresses that issue, the issue of should we be at the same time looking at adding lights there? They're already using portable lights at that facility. Hopefully the drainage issues will be fixed, so the fields will be more available, and then with the additional lighting, the fields will get used more. So we're trying to piggyback and work and hopefully save some time and potentially money by working with the school district on that project. And then there are lights at Sherwood Middle School already, Hopkins, that I think we're going to explore adding some additional lights to the existing towers. So it looks like it's going to be more of a enhancement of the lighting that we already have there, where the Ridges campus, at least the soccer and football fields and baseball fields, do not have lights yet. The tennis courts have lights. So there is lighting already at that campus.
Great. Counselor?
And at the Ridges, I just want to understand this completely. At the Ridges campus, your lighting, you said 2 fields. Aren't there 5 fields at the Ridges campuses? So I'm just trying to understand the layout, because there's 4 soccer fields and a football lacrosse field. So which fields are we talking about? Are we lighting all of them?
Initially, we probably will not have the money to light all of them. So I think the initial ones that we're going to work on are the field right behind the Ridges, which is the football field, and there's some baseball fields back there as well. And I think that's our primary target initially. The baseball fields next to Edie Ridge, we're going to look at, but I don't think we're going to be able to do everything within the budget that the $400,000 figure. So again, we have to start talking to the school district. We didn't want to do that without getting some direction from council and the Parks Board. So we would come back if things change, just to kind of let you know in terms of where we're going. School district doesn't really know, except that this was going to be on our agenda tonight. And I did give a heads up to the superintendent, so we're going to talk about it tomorrow. So,
Great.
So I don't think 400,000 is going to get you all the fields at the Ridges. We won't know that for sure until we start moving forward, but I don't think that's realistic at this point.
And at Parks Board, did they take a vote on this?
Yes, and it was a unanimous vote. Again, with the $400,000 cap, to explore additional lighting at these two campuses. They didn't get into specifics about which fields. They basically said, with the SDC money that's coming in, we think this is the right time to make that investment.
I just have one more quick question for Kristen. Is it also part of the conversation with the stakeholder groups that use these fields that maybe instead of having to rent lights, they could maybe stretch the dollars that we have to do a little bit more? Is that part of the conversation?
Yes, absolutely. Right now, our understanding is they spend up to $8,000 a year renting portable lights. So we will most likely also be having conversations with them. We've partnered on lighting projects in the past, so we'll look at doing that again and seeing if they might be able to help contribute in one way or another.
Maybe that can add the
right
a little more.
Stretch the dollars a little bit.
Great. Any other questions or discussion or motion?
I'll move we approve Resolution 2012-060.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion? No? All in favor of approving Resolution 2012-060, authorizing city manager to negotiate with the Sherwood School District to install lights on fields at the Ridge campuses and Sherwood Middle School, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And one recusal, Councilor Butterfield. Motion carries. Thank you, Kristen. And public hearings, we have just the one, correct, Joe?
Yes.
Resolution 2012-061, adopting a supplemental budget and making appropriations. Sylvia? Yes.
The Sherwood City Council will hold a public hearing this evening to hear testimony on Resolution 2012-061, a resolution adopting a supplemental budget and making appropriations. The purpose of the hearing is to receive public comment on the above said item. The order of the business the council will follow is to hear the staff report, receive public testimony, receive additional staff comments, and then questions from the council. The hearing will then be closed and no further testimony will be received. Discussion by the council will follow. Any interested person may present testimony. If you wish to speak, please fill out the testimony form and submit it to the city recorder. The mayor will recognize those persons wishing to speak, and any questions should be addressed through the mayor. When you come to the microphone, please state your name and address for the record, as this hearing will be recorded. Please limit your testimony to 4 minutes.
Thank you, Sylvia. Greg.
Thank you, Mayor. We've been talking about a supplemental budget with you for the last couple of months, and this is the supplemental budget that we've been talking about. This is for the city, and it includes 3 changes. One is to the storm fund to create budget expenditure authority for a capital project that was not completed last year. In the general fund, we are transferring money. The general construction fund, we are transferring money in from the general fund of $300,000, and we're combining that with $200,000 of capital construction fund contingency to make a budget outlay of $500,000 for the turf field replacement. And then in the general fund, we're increasing administration. We are recognizing the transfer out to the general construction fund, and we are decreasing contingency. And all of the funds will stay in balance after this supplemental budget is approved.
Okay, in the absence of the mayor, is there any comments from staff? Okay. Mayor's returned.
Sorry about that. Thanks, Craig. So no questions of staff at this point?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it now the appropriate time or after the citizen?
Either way.
Okay, Craig, how does this impact the Budget Committee's financial goals and levels that we've been asked to hit? Does this impact any of those numbers that we've set in our mission statement and goals?
This does not impact those goals in that the general fund balance stays above 20%.
Mm-hmm.
It does take a one-time hit to the general fund balance of $300,000, $400,000.
Right.
We're still above the target of 20%.
Target. It's weird I was looking for. Thank you.
Great. Anyone like to address council on the proposed supplemental budget? Going once, going twice. Public hearing on this resolution is closed. Additional council questions of staff or council comments on the proposed resolution? Is there a motion?
I'll move we adopt Resolution 2012-061.
I'll second.
Moved and second. Discussion on the motion. Seeing none, all in favor of approving Resolution 2012-061, adopting a supplemental budget and making appropriations, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, council. Thank you, Craig.
Mayor, while we're on the subject of budget, may I interrupt for a moment?
Sure.
You all may have noticed that once again the city got the award from the GFOA for the budget document. We'll have a formal presentation of the plaque later on when we actually get the plaque. But I would like to recognize Julie, our accounting supervisor, who puts the budget document together.
Here, here. Congratulations. One of statewide, one of 20
municipalities.
One of 20 cities
to earn it.
Cities earned it this year, and there's of course 243 cities in Oregon. So, great job. City manager and department reports.
The only item I have tonight, Mayor and Council, is just a reminder that the January meeting, your first Tuesday in January is January 1st, so you're not going to be meeting on New Year's Day. We're going to shift everything 2 weeks, so your first or your next council meeting will be on January 15th as we turn the page to 2013. So I just wanted to remind folks that we won't be here on New Year's Day. So I don't have anything else formally to report unless you have questions for me specifically.
Council announcements? Thanks, Joe. Well, I certainly want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and safe and Happy New Year. We got a little bit of snow this morning and might get a little more snow tonight. Hopefully we won't be getting the 3 feet of snow that we got a couple years back, but I know some students in town that might like that to happen. But no other announcements. We will adjourn this meeting to the Urban Renewal Agency Board of Directors meeting.